Okay, hello world. I am here to give my story. My name is Ayana. I will not disclose my last name. If you're on my social media platform or you're very good at looking people up, you'll find me. But I just wanted to run down my story. And what made me come to this decision is the fact that I was going to leave it alone, but when you're dealing with toxic people, they just won't leave you alone. So here I am to clear up the whole story that people have not heard my side since I have became the new version of myself. I've healed, I've upgraded, I've grown. I just want to say probably this year, I cut my family off for good. The reason why I did that, I live in Texas. My mother has three children, and I'm the middle child. And I asked for some money. I was given the money, but I was sent a text by my mother who said it was a contract basically. You can borrow the money, but make sure you pay it back. Remind you, since I moved to Texas, which was last year, I haven't asked anybody for anything. I actually disconnected from people. They kept calling me. Of course, I would talk to them, but the only person I was worried about from my past back in Georgia was my son. The only person. So he was with his dad. And so that's the reason I was still staying in connection with people. But after that happened, and I had my son here, and people just really showed you mom, dad, sister, and brother how they don't have your back and how they would go spewing dirt on your name. But I didn't really care because I don't associate myself with anyone from my past. But to keep coming around and involving yourself in my life, obviously you want me to tell my story because, okay, if you won't say my mother is a narcissist, she has narcissistic traits. I was on the phone with my son. My son is over her house. I don't want my son over her house or my sister's house. I don't want him around my family. I informed my baby father of this, and he insisted on doing what he wanted to do. I have four children altogether. Three are with me currently, and I don't have no help, no support, no. It's me and my man and them. He's at work. I'm with them. Financially, he support us. So it's like, okay, so first, my mother has narcissistic traits. She has controlled all of our lives, her children's lives. She no longer controls mine, but she controls my sister and my brother. Okay. Second, my dad had intercourse with me when I was 12. Okay. Third, when I was younger, I went through a transitioning, like I told, and we was going through the whole thing. I went through it with my grandmother, but then my grandmother worked, so I had to stay with my aunt. So it was a lot of moving around when I was taken from my mom and dad. When I left my mom and dad, not taken. I'm not gonna say taken, but so I figured I felt I missed them. I was young. I didn't know really nothing but them. I was with my mom and dad longest. Of course, I was always involved with my grandmother, but it was always a problem every time I go over there. And you listen to her, and but you won't listen to us, and all that. That was only part of the controlling process. Okay, so I have a lot to say, but I guess I would rather people ask me questions. It's a whole rabbit hole, but my son called me and he was over his nana house. First, he lied and said he was over his auntie house because that's who he's supposed to be with. That's who I guess his dad dropped him off with, my sister's house. I cut my sister off because she said, fuck me and fuck my children because I would not let her be involved in my children's lives. I have girls. I seen when I allow her in my daughter's life how my mom would be over there, and I don't want my girls around my mama or my daddy. I still love my sister. I'm like, okay, we sisters. Sister bun. That was a lie. Every time she got the chance and she had my kids, she'd be like, I know what's up. She would call them over. We'll call my mom, and my mom lived with my daddy still. I feel like I'm skipping it, and I might have skipped something. I do apologize. What was I saying? Okay, so I left my mom and dad, and I was over my aunt's house, and I found the phone to call my mama, and I called my mom, and I said, Mom, are you going to tell my daddy to leave so I can come home? She was like, I don't know. I have to see, like, what's going on to see if I was lying about my daddy having sex with me. So after that, I was just like, still being a kid, still loving them no matter what happened, you know. So I wanted to go back because I wasn't so used to being moved around as much. But my grandma had to work, so it's like, what else can she do? So I ended up being back with my family. And my mom was like, well, if I lose your daddy, I don't know where y'all gonna be. Basically, the weight was on me to break my family, because if I told her my daddy and my daddy was gone, my mama wasn't trying to be involved in our lives. Harsh truth, but it is the truth. And I was just like, so at an early age, I stayed in that condition because I didn't want to break my family apart, because my mom had told me if my daddy went away, she don't know where we would be. She basically wouldn't be here for us and all this other crazy stuff. Okay, now fast forward. I was on the phone with my son. My son told me he was over his aunt's house, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I know your dad let you go over there. So I was like, man, only if you was on video, you'll see how much your sisters and brothers have grown. So I got him on video. Quickly switched. Yeah, my auntie dropped us off. She had to go somewhere. Remind you, he had been over there the whole time. I did not hear him get in the car, get out of a car, hear him talking to my sister, nothing. It's been the same background even when I got on video. Then he proceeded to say, somebody want to speak to you. And I'm looking like, no, I don't talk to nobody over there. Except for my nephew. I would speak to I love my nephew. That was my first son before I had a son. So I'm like, I'm doing like this to my son. No, don't want to be rude. I wasn't raised to be disrespectful or whatever. Basically, I wasn't raised to have a voice. They had taken it away and made sure my credibility went out the window. So when this hit the fan and you confused, I mean, if I say she got narcissistic traits, go and look that up, you know? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm continuing the conversation. I even told him I'd call him back. I get back on the phone with him. He called me back. I get back on the phone with him. Somebody want to speak to you. Who? Now I'm like this. Who? Nana. No, I don't want to speak to her. Not being rude or nothing. But no, my son looked as if he wanted to cry. Now, why would you put my child in that situation when you know I wasn't talking to you? Right? Is that not narcissistic? Let me know. So I'm here to stop this toxic stuff. I'm not in Georgia with my son, and I'm not trying to control what's going on over there. I talked to his father. If people don't like me and would abuse me and I'm his mother, what would they do to him? So that's that. And that's only like half of it. It's like a deep rabbit hole. I have no family. They're dead to me in my head. I have no friends. the ones I was able to socialize with, of course, my mother allowed me to go out with these particular people. They weren't friends. They were backstabbers waiting for a chance to set me up and hurt me. And now that I'm saying it out loud and telling it, it sounds like I'm crazy. But if you honestly know what I've been through, what does a narcissist make you feel like? They isolate you? That's what I went through. And they turn everybody else against you. So when you come out to do this, you're a liar. You can't believe nothing she say. Her mental ain't stable. Of course my mental would not be stable. If my dad had sex with me, he's my biological father. My mother and father are still together. My sister and brother, my sister said, fuck me and fuck my kids because I didn't want them around her because she would bring them around them. Then my brother pillow talking with my baby daddy because I asked him for some money. It was only $100 and some. This man act like I asked him for $1,000. He's a truck driver. He don't have kids. He did have a kid. His kid passed away. I love my nephew. Rest in peace. Like, tell me. Am I not supposed to cut off all communication? I would like to know. And I'm sharing this publicly because I'm constantly being attacked. And I'm not saying anything. I haven't. And then I was like, you must want me to. So here it is. If you want to know more, you can ask me. For the longest I have been private about this. I haven't got help, mental help about this. I've had children and I love them to death. And I'm a very great mother. And it's like, what do you want from me? What do you want? Because I don't bother nobody. I stay in my bubble. I don't talk to nobody. I don't talk to my grandma, my uncles, my aunties, my sister, my brother, my mama, my daddy. What do you want? It seems like they want to continuously break and break and break and break. But I'm not broken. I've healed myself. I don't focus on that. I focus on growing. I have children to raise who I absolutely adore and would do any and everything for. And if anybody, you know what I'm saying? Call me Mama Bear. I just don't get it. So maybe someone else can give me a different point of view to look at. Different roadblocks to overcome. Like, help me out. Why am I continuously being attacked when I don't involve myself with those people? Why are you coming after my child? You know, my sister knows I don't want none of my kids over her house. I still have a text message where she told me, fuck me and my kids. Who does that? Because I won't let you put my children in situations that I've had to survive and they don't have to. If he did it to me, who says he wouldn't do it to them? All right, I love y'all. It's been 14 minutes. I don't know who's gonna watch this, but peace. I love y'all. Much love.